guys.
Hi.
A question for both of you. I was wondering if you could discuss, I guess for lack of a better term, the politics around when you choose to like kill a character. Is there like is there a process, or I mean, you two are kind of.
I think Nick's
I'm
got the edge on me actually. I think if you look at sort of fatality, the fatality and page count ratio.
Right. Yes.
You're the real monster.
Yeah.
But I come to visit so rarely. I really like to make an impact. I'm like the sort of person who doesn't, comes to visit at Christmas but doesn't flush the toilet after themselves. So bye.
Like a recurrent, like one of those soap characters in a soap, the villains that sort of come along and
Nick Cotton as well.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah,
but
no one's going to know what that is.
No. It's a fantastic analogy, actually.
It is. I know. Yeah, it's
I'll look it up
wasted on people.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know. It's usually sort of. It serves the story always. I think, isn't it? It's kind of. It's not done because it's going to be a ratings winner. Not intentionally for that reason. Obviously, that it will have an impact, and but it's a. But they can't be ratings winners because you can't tell people in advance. You're going to want to pre-order big on this one. But it's. But you want to. I suppose it's more. If the story is going that way, you write it in your outline or your pitch. And I mean, you guys would write I guess almost a year or so ahead with your outlines, wouldn't you? So you'd almost know then roughly who's going to be making the cut.
Yeah. I mean, the proper thing to say is that we're trying to avoid deaths for the sake of it, and a character dying it's got to be a direct consequence of someone else's decision,
right.
Or it's got to have an effect on how someone else acts.
Right.
I don't think I can say that every death in More Than Meets the Eye has been like that, but the big ones.
Right.
I mean, Pipes was quick and shocking and unexpected and wasteful, but that's kind of the point.
That's the point, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Trail Cutters was about centering the DJD as bastards.
Right. Yes. It did a good job with that.
Thank you.
That worked. Yeah.
And I guess an exception to that rule, and again it ties into a previous answer, was Mirage's death. Mm-hmm. That came after the news that the whole at that point, the universe was coming to an end. So suddenly, all the characters that didn't have story arcs with them, story arcs taking them to a certain point, was sort of fair game.
Okay,
and it was. I mean, I guess you could say it was a cheap and done for effect, but it gave an opportunity to in that Mutineers story to say that again, Getaway's horrifically villainous and right. Anybody can die. It was a bit like that Simon Furman stories near the end in Time Wars and things where there'd be dozens of people being killed.
Oh yeah. So, but would you say as far as IDW is concerned, when you write an outline, is there a politics there of saying the story is gonna, I want to kill this character or euthanize them depending on where you are in Lost Light. I want this character to go. Is there some pushback on certain characters or sort of back to what you were saying before about this person has this character so you can't kill them or.
The only place we really had that was in Last Stand, wasn't it? Really, there was kind of cattle trading going on about. Can we kill this guy? And we're like, no, you can kill this guy. We're like, well, we don't want to kill this guy. How's about we kill this guy? And then they suggested to us, do you want to kill that guy? And we're like, no, let's not kill anyone. So the
really bad game of poker.
It was terrible. It was the rookie characters were all up for grabs, and so only Guzzle survives weirdly, So no one editorially or at Hasbro really cared. There was no Rotor Storm figure planned for that Christmas. the idiots. Because if there was, I would have shilled it. Don't worry, I would have happily have made him the leader of the Wreckers. But then it was all set up, literally up until the production of issue 4, the scripting of issue 4. It had been outlined and plotted and submitted, and that Springer was going to die in Last Stand of the Wreckers. Wow. And Hasbro said no, and then. I guess then we suggested Perceptor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
we did. Yeah.
But then he
How did everybody react for Springer, but everybody reacted for Perceptor? Perceptor too, but Springer.
It's weird. Yeah. Well, Perceptor had a useful kind of. He was really useful in Last Stand because he kind of. Helps crack Aquitas, and he's the leader of kind of that group, and solves that mystery. But kind of the real reason that he was on that mission is because he was Cup's kind of handler, essentially, and there would have been a lot gained in some ways if Perceptor had kind of been killed. But
I think, and this isn't to criticise any one editor, or to compare or contrast in a negative way, but just looking back over the last 7 or 8 years, there's been a lot less. I think maybe it's to do with ongoings and this idea of planning ahead and this the fact there is a confidence that there's a bigger story being told. There's been very, I can't think of any instances of being told, well, you must leave them alone, or you can't kill that person. And all that said, at the end of the day, and we're not fans of the sort of resurrection stuff, but comics, anyone can be brought back if the next writer really wanted to, then they'd find a way. Well, yeah, or a reboot, yeah.
It's going to be the main characters in the new reboot are going to be Mirage and Rotorstorm. It's going to be yes. Yeah, I know. Imagine the sales. It's going to solve our problems, right?
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.